this just kind of happened out of nowhere, really.
It was meant to be just a couple of songs.
Yeah.
And then we thought, how about an EP? How about an LP?
Why don't you do a show? You should do a show. It's like, all right.
Everybody loves a hero. Hold on tight.
Like a late night discussion group. Isn't it?
Excuse me.
James and I have been in a lot of bands over the years.
We wanted to do more rock music, really. Rock is one of our first loves, and neither of us were playing any rock music, so this was the whole thing behind this album, really.
Both Rob and James understand that classic rock. They've been through the 70s, they've been through the 80s, and I think when you work with people who have lived through it, then you have that really special authenticity.
Start with demo song, asked James to play drums on it. We finished that one ages ago, and then we sent it to I think she said, oh, this is great, have you got any more tracks? You should send me some more. Like, oh, we hadn't really thought about doing an album. That's what spurred us on.
Rob just emailed me out of the blue, and I had just come back from Nashville, where all the musicians really brought their best to my record, Business and Pleasure, and I just felt like I'd love to hear Rob's music and do the same for him.
Of course, M had the connections with all the guest musicians that subsequently appeared on the album.
Mike Garson, Gail and Dorsey, Mark Plati, Earl Slick, M. Gryner, Donny McCaslin. You're aware that there's a thing that binds them together, and you know that thing is
David Bowie.
I guess most of note, usually I say David Bowie.
I toured with Bowie, that's my big claim to fame.
You know, there's a glam bedrock to some of it. But this is a different band. You know, like it's a band that have one foot in the past and one foot in the future. You know, there's a classic element to the songwriting and to the playing, but it's not a tribute act.
They weren't in our plans. It would be impossible to have them all in our plans. So one by one, they just all said yes.
Yeah.
And it was quite exciting.
Treated it with such care and worked with such great people. So there was an element of that, but also the kind of glam. It was really up my alley.
My name is Mike Garson, and I've been playing the piano my whole life. And out of nowhere, I received some tracks of Rob Fleming's, and he's long distance from London to LA. He said, would you like to play piano on some of these songs? And I liked the songs. I was very lucky that they were songs that I could relate to harmonically. There was all sorts of Bowie alumni in the tracks. I just played piano from my house in Leith, and it was a very nice experience. I did 5 or 6 songs on the album. A lot of piano playing.
Piano playing from Mike Garson.
I think we both went quiet at the same time, listening to it. And wow.
Who just completely, you know, rips the song apart and kind of pieces it back together into a different, you know, to a different shape. And
on its own, it sounds quite insane, brilliantly insane. And then we put it into the track, and it just worked.
Yeah.
Such such a wild piece of jazz playing. But being able to put that in with, you know, someone like Mark Plati's bass playing, which is really melodic, but it's so held down and so restrained and so in the groove. Such an absolutely brilliant player who knows that sometimes the magic is in the space between the notes.
Hey there, my name is Mark Plati. I'm a record producer and musician from New York City. I came on to this project with KillerStar last year. I played some guitar parts on some of the songs, and then I started mixing some alternate versions of the songs, which was fun to do. Kind of like what I added on Go. I tried to do this little Brian May thing with little octaves and things, and I like what I did on Too Late as well. I think I added a baritone guitar on that, so those were pretty cool.
And the way Gail played with my drums, because she had to play to me, the drums came first, and it just sounds like we were in a room together playing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hearing Earl Slick's guitars, beautifully recorded, great sounding guitars, and what a player. He really brought the track to life today.
Everybody stayed very faithful to the songs, the arrangements, but you know, it was clear they weren't just playing the parts, they were putting the heart and soul into it.
Yeah, when we're recording this stuff, we tried to keep it quite old school. You know, we were recording in a very modern way, but the performances are rooted in these songs in the past a little bit, but the sound is the present.
I always wish new bands would do that, like kind of go down that classic path.
Well, it was a very interesting way of making the record. Rob and James would send me a recording of their parts. And then we would do a monitor mix for the guys that were playing remotely to add their bits to it. So then you'd just get them periodically, little audio presence. And it was crazy because you just don't hear people playing like that anymore.
We had quite a few people mixing songs for us, and it was sounding great. And then Dave did a mix, and it just blew everything out the water, and it was the sound.
The sound we were wanting.
And so we both immediately agreed, this guy has to do everything from now on, please. He just did it.
Yeah.
So he's a big part of the sound.
He is.
It was just a case of filtering it down, knowing what to feature, because sometimes when Mark was playing, he hadn't heard what Mike was going to do, and when Mike was playing, he hadn't heard what Donny was going to do. So it's going to be fascinating at the gig, seeing these guys that haven't necessarily been in a room together, playing these songs that they all played on together, and to see what new stuff that brings to the songs.
I mean, everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody kind of... It's funny, it's not like everybody's strangers. It's like you've got these almost two camps that know each other. And so it's just kind of putting it together, but it seems to be meshing pretty well. So, you know, it'll be a fun thing to play with, you know, everybody, and feel like it's going to be bigger than the parts.
We didn't know if we'd be able to get all the players. A lot of the players are in the US, but things worked out.
I found out the show was happening, and coincidentally I was on a recording project in London, and the day that I finished that recording is when we started rehearsals for this, so it was perfectly serendipitous. And we had 2 days of rehearsal, not a lot. It's a great band, and gonna do a show tonight for everybody.
After playing today, my fears are gone.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for coming. We're glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here.
It kind of all the way through, it's been amazing. It's a really great body of work. I'm happy to be a part of it.
sure a lot of piano on it. I'm trying to remember what I played over those months, but I'll figure it out.
and Gryner on the vocals, Ulrika Bergelind on the vocals, Beken on the synths, my friend, companion in KillerStar, Sedge on the drums, Plati on the bass, Kevin Armstrong on the guitar, Claire Hurst on the sax, and last but not least, Simon Bass on the saxophone. I'm Fleming. We've been KillerStar. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again sometime. Take care.